For months, I felt completely invisible inside my own marriage. But what happened on our anniversary night changed everything permanently. If you've ever sat next to someone who promised to love you but treated you like you didn't exist, you'll understand this feeling. For months, my wife barely acknowledged me. No good mornings, no real conversations. Whenever I tried to talk, she was glued to her phone, smiling at messages that clearly weren't meant for me. I kept telling myself I was imagining things. I told myself that all marriages have rough patches. But deep down, I knew she was deliberately shutting me out. Our anniversary was approaching, and in the past, I had always been the one to plan everything: dinner, surprises, gifts. This time, I chose a different approach. I didn't remind her. I didn't book a restaurant. I didn't even mention the date. I quietly canceled the reservation I had made weeks earlier and decided to see if she would notice. The day came and passed like any normal weekday. She left early, barely saying goodbye. No smile. No kiss. No happy anniversary. That evening, I sat alone in the living room. The silence felt louder than any argument we'd ever had. I didn't text her. I didn't call. I wanted to see how long it would take her to realize I was still there. She came home late, heels clicking across the floor, talking loudly on the phone. She laughed, really laughed, in a way I hadn't heard in months. When she noticed me sitting there, she paused for half a second, then continued her call, as if I were just part of the furniture. That brief pause told me everything. I went to bed without saying a word. Around midnight, I heard the bedroom door open. She stood there, confused, holding her phone. "Why didn't you say anything today?" she asked, almost irritated. "Say what?" I replied calmly. "Our anniversary," she said, rolling her eyes. "You usually make a big deal about it." That hurt more than I expected, not because she forgot, but because she assumed I was the only one who cared. I told her I thought she wasn't interested anymore. She shrugged and said she'd been busy, stressed, tired. Then she added something that snapped the last thread of patience I had left. "You're being dramatic." That night, I realized something important. I wasn't dramatic. I was done begging. Over the next few days, I pulled back. No texts. No checking in. No emotional effort. I focused on myself, the gym, work, old friends. I had neglected all of that trying to save a marriage that only I seemed to be fighting for. The more I withdrew, the more unsettled she became. A week later, she suddenly wanted to talk. She asked why I had changed, why I wasn't trying anymore, why I didn't seem jealous or worried. That's when I told her the truth, calmly and without raising my voice. I told her how it felt to be ignored, how lonely it was to share a bed with someone who gave all their attention to everyone else. I told her canceling the anniversary wasn't revenge, it was acceptance. Her face went pale. That's when she finally admitted it. There was someone else, not a full affair, she claimed, but emotional support. A coworker who listened to her, someone who made her feel seen. I laughed, not because it was funny, but because it was predictable. She ignored me because she was giving the best parts of herself to someone else.
She cried.
She apologized. She said she never meant for it to go that far. But when you've been ignored for months, you grieve the relationship while still inside it. By the time she realized she was losing me, I had already let go. I didn't scream. I didn't threaten. I didn't beg her to choose me. I simply told her I was done being an option in my own marriage. The next morning, I packed a bag and left. A month later, she texted me on what would have been our next anniversary. She said she missed me. She said she finally understood what she had lost. She asked if we could talk. I didn't reply, because the real revenge wasn't canceling the anniversary. It wasn't leaving. It wasn't even her regret. The real revenge was choosing myself and never letting anyone ignore me like that again.